authority that God has given me and placed in me, I need them to receive that authority.
Yeah.
But once we get to the point that we're so comfortable, when I use it, they buck against it. And so we lost people behind that because they were trying to do things and no, it don't line up with the word. And then they came to me, we just can't stay here no longer. Oh, there's the door.
You said something key though, Pastor. And this is such a gold nugget. Men, listen to your wives, especially if you have a good one and a smart one.
Right,
Yes.
right.
I think because of the nature of man, it feels sometimes it might feel like it takes something from them if they listen to their spouse. But if you have a good one and you know she's good, because you know when you got your good one and you know when you got you a dumb one too.
Right. They're there.
Yeah, you know, but if you have a good one who's wise, you have a good one who has wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, it behooves you to listen to them. Because they're going to save you a lot of heartache, they're going to save you a lot of trouble, and you know, they're going to save you a lot of money too.
I've had to eat a lot of humble pie, Pastor. Bishop, I had to eat a lot of humble pie because there have been times, even now in ministry, you know, and we joke about it with some more friends that are sitting in the audience, the newbies. We joke about this, that, you know, she say things and I'm like, okay, you know, and I listen. But then when somebody else say it, she's like, I said the same thing.
That's most men.
Same thing.
And it was so revelation to them what they said.
And that's what I'm hot. That's what I'm hot. I be like, now, where's Adam Christian?
But you know, and so I am learning, and that is one thing that I do tell men now when I talk to them, even men that come out of church. You know, if your wife is a godly wife, listen to her.
That's right.
Because God sent you a help me.
That's
you know, and she discern and pick up on things that I just overlook.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, we just overlook.
You know, and I think women, they have most women, not all, but most women, they have that special gift or that special discernment. You know, that we as men, you know, we might see some stuff, you know, but some stuff, because of that discernment that they have, man, they can hop on it like a bee to a pile of honey.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to tell you. And so it will save you a lot of trouble if we just take the time to listen. And sometimes you might not even have to do what she's saying, but if you just give her the respect of listening.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I'm gonna tell you, one of the first things that I said in my first year of marriage, I said, God didn't call you, He called me. I'm the pastor.
And I was happy with that. Fine.
You know, and that's what she said. Good, your church, good. You know, I don't have to be your member. You know, and I'm saying I need you to be a member because I need your tithe and offerings. No, let's not. But I didn't say. I did not say that. I didn't say that. But no, I did say that. I had the nerve to say that.
Yeah.
I really did, and I had to eat those words because she gave me a lot of direction that I overlooked, and it caused me heartache.
And I'm so glad you said that, whether it's the male or the female, we see that a lot in just us counseling.
Yeah.
How it's just like you go on an ego trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Instead of just learning to that power of agreement. How can two
That's right.
walk together except they agree? Learning how to. I never forget prophetically when it was spoke to us that we were walking to one heartbeat. Well, we both took a deep breath. We both were strong individuals, but it's not until we merged those gifts and learned to submit to one another that we saw the fruit of what God wanted to do in our lives. A lot of times I see one spouse really doesn't feel valued or appreciated. And when that happens, you see the decline in the ministry and in the relationship instead of defining those roles and making sure that you walk those things out. I'm so glad that as a man to hear you talk about it, because a lot of men will not talk about it. I can go into churches and I can sit right there and I look at Bishop. I say, no, that's the problem right there. I said, if he would just affirm her. Not compete with her, not get jealous of her or think she's taking over. If he would just affirm her, she would work 100 times more for her. But because he didn't affirm her, she's now bitter. Because everything that God has put into her is laying dormant, and he's empowering others, but he's not empowering her. Woo!
Apostle, you said a mouthful, and I will say this: within the last 2 months, our ministry have taken a growth spurt because of that fact of me listening to the wife, me getting information that she gives me, and I listen to that. And sometimes I might not want to hear it. I do not want to hear sometimes. But at the same time, even though she think I'm not listening, I am listening. And in my own way, I put into play what she's saying. Because we was riding down the road the other night, and she said, and I come off sometimes, kind of harsh, I guess. She says I do. I don't think I do. I was an educator, so I was used to teaching children. And so children, I expect them to learn in repetition. But adults, when I say it one time, I think you should just grasp it. So she's like, okay, remember, we got new people coming. So you got to be mindful how you talk back to them, if they don't grasp it right away. So, and those are nuggets that I pick up on. And so, and people that come to our church, pastors, I want y'all to hear me well, they do not come watching you. They come watching the wife. And if the wife is off key, they're not going to stay. They're not going to stay. So I noticed that when new people come to our ministry, my wife is on the praise team. They watch my wife. They watch her excitement. And they watch, and so they pick up on stuff like that. So, I try to make sure that, there's no heated fellowship on Sunday mornings on our way to morning worship, because the enemy does try that, and things of that nature. But it is key that you said that if I just allow the giftings and confirm her, the word that you use, confirm her to, her giftings, and, make her feel valued, make her feel important and appreciated. People see that.
And it's amazing because one of our newest members, she said, I can just look at you all, and I see how he looks at you, and I can tell, and I see how you look at him, and I can just tell you all love each other. And I was like, really? I was like, he was getting on my nerves last night, really? So, but I thank God that he provides a covering, because when you really do love, even in the midst of you get on each other's nerves and all that stuff, at the end of the day, you love each other, and people will see it even when you don't think it's there. It's amazing.
And also the other key thing about that is this, that it's going to add to you all anyhow.
Right.
The more I affirm her, or the more she affirms me, that's building our family up anyhow.
Right.
So and our ministry that builds us up. So it really is a win-win situation anyhow.
Right.
You would be a fool not to.
You're right.
Because really you're going to work against yourself.
That's right.
When you tear down your spouse or whatever, your helpmate, it's like you cutting your own hand off.
Bishop, you're absolutely right. Because let me tell you something. I noticed the difference when I walk in my house. If I have validated my wife, if I've confirmed her, everything's run so smooth.
Yeah.
And as you said, but trust me and believe, I know when I did not do it too. Because there's some bumps when I get in the house, some turbulence. Yeah. Don't touch me. What you looking at me for? I mean, and her eyes are almost, if they was guns, I'd have been dead. She's shooting. I tell her when she give me one of those looks, you looking just like your mama now.
Mama, you don't say that.
Yes, I do. My mother-in-law could give you a look. Whew, you better go find Jesus and find him quick. And tell him thank you.
There you go. Oh yeah, but that is so key though. So men and as well as and it doesn't even have to be pastors.
Right.
Those who are in ministry, deacons, trustees, whatever, husband, lay member, if God has given you your spouse, affirm them, validate them, encourage them, take time out to pour into them. Because that in return is going to bless you.
I think, Bishop, one thing, and to help some men, for me, I never saw that coming up. I never saw that as a male boy, you know, because my parents divorced when I was 7. So, and then I was raised by my dad. And so, you know, grandmama pretty much raised me because daddy was always working. So I had to learn how to validate the woman and make her feel appreciated. And even now, and I'm not afraid to say this, even now, sometimes I find myself saying, okay, you need to go get that right. You need to go fix that. Because it's so easy to slip back to what you're used to, you know. And so, the training, yes.
Experiences that you had.
Yes. And so then I have to get back on track. So wait a minute, this ain't right. This ain't right. This is not God, you know. And so, you know, and for some men that do not have that in the home, to see the dad validate the mom and to make her feel appreciated, you know, it's a challenge for them. It's a challenge because women cannot teach children men things. You know, I mean, my grandma would tell me what a woman should want, what a woman wants, and how we should treat them, but I needed the male to help me in that area that I never got. You know, all I thought, and I love my dad to death. If you ever watch this, I love you to death. But all I ever saw was, you know, my dad dated several women, and so for me, that was the thing to do. You know, you just date, you know, you're done with them, you know. And my dad's been married 3 times. 3 times. And I'm just being real with you. My dad's been married 3 times and divorced all 3. And today he's still not married. Because he ain't still got it together. You know, so I look at that, and so then what I had to take from that was, I don't want that to be me. But it could have easily become me. Because I could easily say, I'm done with this. You know, hey, I go get another woman. You know, but I saw that, you know, I'm supposed to fight in this thing. I'm supposed to make this work. You know, God made me the head, and this is my life. So I'm supposed to make this work. You know, no matter what comes, no matter what trials come, you know, I may have to sleep on the couch a night here or there.
I ain't gonna do that, Doc.
You know,
I ain't gonna do it.
But we're gonna make this thing work.
She tried to. Nope. Hey, I'm paying bills out here. This couch, this house, I mean, this bed belongs to me. I don't have no couch ministry. I'm too big to be sleeping on the couch.
He would do it just to get away from me.
Yeah, I'll do it just to get away from him. But see, my thing was,
He ain't gonna leave.
I'm sure.
but I told my wife, I said,
That's your side, this my side.
No. I'm gonna scoot right up there and kick that little
and see, I told and I told my wife, I said, if we ever talk about go getting a divorce, and you know, and that word came up sometimes, I'm being real, it came up sometimes the first year of our marriage, you know, and especially when the church started, you know, just getting a divorce. And I told her, I said, I tell you what, okay, we can go get one. I said, well, we're gonna go to the judge, and the judge, I'm gonna tell the judge, she lying, she playing, she don't want a divorce. She want Big Daddy. She coming right on back home, so save your little money. But I'm be honest, we talked about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm being real with you, we talked about it. Divorce was, you know, people say it wasn't an option. It was an option for us. You know, we literally talked about it, and I told her, go home to your mom and dad. She said, well, you get out the house, the devil is a lie. You know, she said, well, you can't afford it. Well, I'll stay here and lose it. I'll lose it, and lose it happily.
It's just so amazing how you can be strong and wrong.
Yes.
It's all right.
Yeah, I felt right.
It felt good.
I felt good. I said, go home. And she said that, well, I got a room at my parents. Go do it. You know, I don't know if your mama gonna let you come back, but you can go. But you know, but we talked about it. And you know, and even with some of our struggles and some of our issues that we've had and some of our low places that we were, you know, it came up again. And then we looked at each other, you know, what are we gonna do? And, you know, we had to step back and take a breather and say, we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
We're gonna fight.
And that's the key thing. Sometimes when you're up close on a situation, you don't see everything. Sometimes it's always good to step back. Because you can always see from a different angle once you step back and see the whole picture.
Right.
And a lot of times we mess up because we're always close up on something.
Yeah.
But you got to learn how to step back sometime to get a better view of what's going on, who's really doing what, and what is the adversary really trying to sneak in, how he's trying to sneak in.
Yes.
You know, you got to step back and sometimes and survey the scene.
Yeah.
Survey the scene.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing to be real. I don't know, you know, just being real. One big problem that we had, where the enemy really always came in, was when my wife brought that money word.
You're right.
It just sent chills up my back, down my
So
spine.
we had to pay BILLS.
And I'm like, you know, and,
On TIME.
and no. See, this was me.
I like you.
This was me. I was like, look, if the light bill $60 and we ain't got but 45, put 45 on it. You know. No, we're not gonna do that. I don't know your logic of, you know, how you pay bills. You know, my thing was, I ain't got it. Hey, you call me. Hey, I don't have it. I'll pay you when I get it.
I mean, but you don't wait until your biller starts sending you red letters and cuss words in the bill before you start paying it. That's just, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, and so we
And
actually had to.
There too again, she was raised differently. Her, you know, her mom. She tell me her mom and dad sat down at the table together and they ironed out the bills. My dad is just okay. Pay this week. Pay it that week. Pay it this week. Pay this next week. Pay this here. Pay this there. So I was like, okay, that's what I was used to. So you know, and when I went to college and my lights got cut off for the first time, I said, Daddy, my lights off. He said, you didn't pay the bill? I said, no. He said, you know you're supposed to pay the bill every month. I said, well, I paid a couple months ago. But that was that was the way I was used to. I'm being real. That was my culture. So in my house, it became a challenge. So I said, tell you what, you handle all the bills. You pay that. You're better in that area than I am. So you handle that. You know, because if you handle one, nothing get cut off.
And it was to the point where it was just like, you know, okay, I was like, all right, how can I avoid an argument? So this is what I would do. I would tally everything and I would say, on such and such date, I need such and such amount of money. And that eliminated all of the issues because then if he screwed up, it was on him. You had a due date, you know.
But I was a man, so I wasn't gonna screw up. I made sure mine was there.
I know that's right.
And if it wasn't there, I went and begged and borrowed somebody. It was there. I did not want no argument in my house because I was $1 short.
But there was sometimes when he kind of like, you know, I was like, okay, I done asked him 2 days ago. And you know, and so, but the thing about it is, it's a lesson in responsibility. It's a lesson in, you know, just compromise. Because I had to figure out how to handle this situation without it turning into heated fellowship.
And that's one of the chapters in our book that we talk about how if you're not good at something, especially as a man, if you're not good at something and your wife is. It takes nothing from you as a man.
And I had to learn that.
Yeah. And a lot of people have to learn that. A lot of men have to learn. It takes nothing from you. My wife, she handled the bill. Now, what I do, I get my little check. I'm gonna give her some of the money. I ain't giving her all the money. So I work too hard for mine. I'm keeping some for myself.
That's me, Bishop. That's
Who? I sure do. That's right. Because I want to know exactly where all my money is going.
I was making up numbers one year.
She said, I'm like this.
I said receipt. I said,
Who? Because it's real like that.
I was trembling.
He said, what happened?
Yeah, come to this story. Now I know better, you know. Cause see, I'm very good when it comes down to money and all. You know who I might not can do some stuff, but one thing I'm good at
is the money.
I'm good. But I'm trying to tell the Lord anointed me in that area. He anointed me. Oh yes, I know what to do with my money and your money too. You know I'm short. I'm gonna tell you. No, because you spent $21 on your $60 on the hairdo. You spent $60 on the hairdo, and you didn't do this, you know. But I said to say this: if you ain't good at it, don't do it. Let your wife do it.
And also with learning how to do it, God dealt with me about being trustworthy.
Yeah.
Because He was trusting me with the finances, so I had to make sure what I was doing was integral and also be held accountable. So even though He let me handle the money, it still was His money. And He had a right to know where it went. Sometimes when you run into money, you think, you don't think they're supposed to ask you nothing. And then He was like, I was tripping. He was like, I need to see the receipts. Like, well, you do it then. but that's working together.
Right.
And because we mastered that younger in our marriage, we're able now to do multiple businesses.
Right.
Because we learned to work together.
And then also with that, when you're talking about the responsibility, if I'm giving you money to pay bills, you ought not be buying new outfits.
That's right.
If we came into a compromise, I'm gonna give you the money, you're gonna handle the bills, then you need to handle the bills. Ought that be no bill collector calling.
That's right. That's
talking
right.
about the light due is due, the car is due. No. Where the money at? Where to go?
Right.
And you out there getting massages and all that. We had came one time and it really got on my nerve. We had came into agreement that we weren't going. Yes, we came to agreement that we weren't going to buy nothing. Okay, you know.
Oh God, we tried.
But she somehow the other every day was a sale. It was a sale though, but we had an agreement that we weren't gonna buy nothing. Cause we gonna save the money, for a month or whatever. We won't buy nothing, but it was a sale. It was a sale. What I said, we had said we weren't gonna buy nothing. So me, I'm holding up my end of the bargain. I won't buy nothing.
Right.
But this chick here, and then she tried to sneak it in like I won't go find it. I got a anointing where I smell new stuff. she done went in before me trying to hide that stuff. And I've been holding something smell new around here. I'm smelling something around. And sure enough, she done hid the outfit in the back of the closet. Like I won't go find it.
And they gonna tell, oh baby, I been had that. I heard that before.
Well, some of it I did. Yeah.
Don't you shame the devil.
But I will say, now, my wife, and I tell anybody, and I tell all my friends, my wife is a better budgeter than I am.
Yeah.
My wife squeaks when she walks. I mean, she's tight. I mean, my wife can tell me where every penny goes, down to the T.
That's good.
Whereas with me, you give me $100, in 10 minutes, I can't tell you what I did with it. Yeah, because and to me, I know I went in this store and this store and this store, but I don't have nothing to show for the $100. But with her, she's a better budget, so I let her handle that. That's her expertise.
Yeah.
Now, God forbid if anything happened to her, and then they got to look at me to pay all this stuff, something's gonna have to give.
But that's I'm glad you brought that up. And that's what we teach when we deal with couples and things. What making sure your spouse knows. Taking 1 month out of the day out of the month to make sure that you bring them up to par with where everything is, how things are handled.
Right.
Because if you have to go to the hospital, things like that, that spouse should still have some type of foreknowledge on how to operate. And a lot of times we just lean it just on one side instead of teaching each other's skills and gifts. Yeah. So that you can both be harmed in those areas.
You're right, but I slipped in that. When my wife was in the hospital, had the baby, and we couldn't have a vaginal, we had to have a C-section.
Yeah.
We bought the cell phone, the laptop. She was paying bills on the day. She was trying to tell me, well, take this card and do this and do this. And I'm like, why don't you just do it? So take the laptop to the hospital. She laying in the bed. Well, your fingers were still working. Everybody was working, and she handled it.
My husband put 100 on 10. He ain't gonna bring the
But she did have
laptop.
But she was paying bills with her cell phone. Everything still got paid. But you're right. Not that I don't think that it's not that I think that I can't do it. It's just that she's better at it.
Understood.
She's just better, and then there's other things in the house that I'm better at. I'm like you, I'm the cook in my house,
I don't cook.
I don't think you can have
Everybody be like, what we going to eat?
And so, and
Did you
that's...
hear what he just said?
I just thought I said it again. I'm the cook in my house, and I don't think bitches can outcook me. That's all.
I missed all of that.
What's I saying?
You have to have a cook-off.
Yeah, ain't no cook-off. Ain't no but space and opportunity.
A crock pot over there.
A crock pot and a roaster, Hey.
He don't want none of this. He don't want none of this now. I'm acting like I didn't hear that. You don't want none of that. You don't want none of it. He don't want none of it.
You fun.
Say the word. Say the word.
Ministry shall not destroy my marriage. Okay.
Ain't gonna start the kitchen either.
Men are so competitive.
Yes.
We wanted to talk about one more subject. We just saw on Facebook, I think it was yesterday, a pastor's, a bishop's wife. She showed herself on Facebook where he had hit her, blood was streaming down. She was bandaged up. And she said, we're not trying to basically belittle him or talk about him, but he has anger issues, and she put the picture up. I mean, you saw she was bleeding.
He tore up, Jesus.
Yeah, and then you saw, I mean, because a lot of times we don't want to talk about that, but I think that the church should hear us and the world should hear us on how we feel about that, because the enemy tries to depict that our marriages are dysfunctional. All our marriages are not dysfunctional. Right. And even if we have some dysfunction, the Word of God helps us to bring it into a functional situation. But she had no other choice. She had to, because they were going to side with she was wrong, you know. So she's bleeding, her head is bandaged. And what I found comforting was her husband's reformation, his covering. He, on Facebook, sends out a letter and says that we do not condone this, call him brother. He's no longer a bishop in our fellowship until after they finish the court case. By no means should, and it goes both ways, no means should a man hit his wife, and no means should a wife hit her husband. Because I've seen some women who...
That's right. I mean, I was one of them, and I gotta be honest. I got to be honest. I would lash out on this man, but see, the thing about it is, when you have those issues, you have to make sure that you get godly counsel. Counsel makes us wise, and it is when we feel like we're too deep, or we're too spiritual, or we're too something, or whatever, that we don't get that help, and that things like that happen, and now it's public, and now not only are you destroying your own family, you're destroying many families, you know. And so I mean, I had to get that help with my anger, with my temper, and God has delivered me. Thank you, God, that I don't have to do that, you know, that crazy stuff that I used to do anymore, you know. I mean, because it's not helpful. I mean, you know, like you said, we were still getting to know each other in our marriage, and so communication was horrible. And so, you know, not that I am justifying anger, because I'm not. But when you have a temper and you feel like you're pushed into a corner, and the only way that you can get heard is by lashing out, and the only way that you can get heard is by screaming and hollering. I've had this problem since I was younger, you know. So this is not something that just happened because I was married. No, this was an issue that I had to be delivered from, you know. And I think
we would like to thank you for viewing this week's airing of Ministry Shall Not Destroy My Marriage. In order to purchase your book, visit our website today at www.gatministries.com. We also challenge all of our viewers to make a donation today to Thai TV as they continue to spread the gospel across the nation. We would also like to welcome you to listen to the Ministry Shall Not Destroy My Marriage radio show every Tuesday at 1 p.m. at www.thevoiceradio.com.